We will now try to find answers to all of that by speaking with Uchenna Orji, the Ebonyi State Commissioner for Information. Good morning, Honorable Commissioner Orji. Good to have you join us. Good morning, good to have you join us. All right, I know that this might not sound like the best of times for you guys in Ebonyi, but I also see that there is a respite from the High Court in your state. Tell us what the developments are and what assurances does the governor have to retain his seat permanently, at least till the end of his tenure, or do we think that if you go on appeal, as it is likely, your governor might eventually have to leave the seat unceremoniously?
Thank you very much. Let me tell you that legal battles, especially in democratic processes, have been the tradition in Nigeria. And that of Ebonyi State is certainly not an exception. We've had a case in Imo, Abia, and so many other states. And let me say that for Ebonyi State, we take these as a mere distraction, that we go to no issue eventually. And so we aren't perturbed by the whole distraction, the whole processes. But let me say that you talked about the governor criticizing the judge. For me, he was misunderstood. Because if you look at the criticisms that that judgment has brought in Nigeria, you will appreciate that the governor's expressions wouldn't be taken, after all, as totally incorrect. I said this because we had a lot of legal luminaries, Robert Clark, senior advocate of Nigeria, Michael Zakame, senior advocate of Nigeria, many others, that have come to say strongly that that decision cannot stand the furnace of the Court of Appeal, let alone that of the Supreme Court. And one of them even went ahead to justify circumstances that can make a client to really lose some emotions. And so in the face of all of these things, our hope is in the impartiality of the judiciary, which the Apex Court holds. And I know that we have had a lot of precedents on this matter. And that this matter you are talking about, we have already won it at the State High Court, which has coordinated jurisdiction with the Federal High Court. And we hold strongly that the law is right, that when there are two opposing decisions by two courts of coordinated jurisdiction, that it is for Court of Appeal to resolve, and the client may elect to, in one way or the other, choose the one at the moment. Right now, the governor has followed the rule of law, respected the principles, the rule of law, by staying correctly the execution of that judgment. So that judgment came and suffered stillbirth. It died on arrival. That is the outcome of that Federal High Court judgment. Come to talk of it. For the layman, how can you, by court pronouncement, appoint a governor or deputy governor? How can you say that somebody who never stood election should be appointed by INEC? And INEC said, no, we have not seen this, your judgment, let alone acting upon it. And people are still moving about in media platforms to say that there is no government in Ebonyi State, and authorities are watching. So what I'm saying in the fact that we are not even dissipating energy on those issues. We believe in God, our governor shall be vindicated. Don't forget, he became the first deputy governor in the history of the world to become governor when the establishment didn't want him. So the battle of our governor didn't start today, but in all, he has always remained conqueror. Don't forget, it's David. So we are not perturbed. The law is clear. The case of AG Federation, two others, and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has settled the matter. It's a Supreme Court judgment that is the latest. The case of Zamfara, Federal High Court, has also settled the matter. Our own court, the court in Ebonyi State, has also settled the matter. As the 10th of this month, the court had to really issue an order, binding the whole world on its judgment. That is judgment obtained in rem, not judgment obtained in personam. Because it is an interpretation of the construction of the Constitution. And whether or not you're a party, once the Constitution is interpreted or the laws are interpreted, it binds on the whole world. And that is what we are standing. As I speak with you, the governor is working hard to ensure that he anchors gloriously exactly on the 29th May 2023. We are not going to stay a day after that 29. So, and that is our hope. And God in heaven, who sees the heart of our governor, who sees the sudden transformation that we are now having, will certainly vindicate him. I tell you this because if you come to Ebonyi State today, you can rest, be assured that Ebonyi State has been transformed. After Lagos and Abuja, I can tell you that you can count on Ebonyi in the area of road infrastructure, in the area of flyovers, in the area of life transforming economic facilities, including Africa's biggest shopping mall, including an emerging international airport that is going to be factored after Lagos and Abuja, that will have a lot of competitive value, including wonderful agricultural facilities, 80 metric ton capacity, metric ton fertilizer blending plant that we have that is the biggest in the whole of the South, and many others. And so including education that we have really raised to a level. Look at the budget office index on the performance of states. But it's said to be the second most performing state in the whole federation in terms of fiscal responsibility. In terms of self-reliance, but it's said to be fourth. In terms of investment in capital infrastructure, but it's said to be the best, number one. In terms of prudent allocation of scarce resources, which is actually the real meaning of politics. Politics is not about lies. It's not all about trying to play dirty. Politics is all about how to deliver in the dividends of democracy. Our governor came first in budget office index. The people are saying, don't forget, they may come in several ways, not in one way, several ways they will scatter. I tell you, the governor is in charge. The governor of Ebonyi State, His Excellency Chief David Umahi, is in charge.
All right, Honorable Commissioner, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, okay, let's discuss one of the actual, let's go back to the rudiments and discuss the main reason, one of the main reasons we could possibly say for Governor Umahi's defection to APC in the first place, which would be, according to him, that in spite of the Southeast's constant support for the party, this has not been adequately reciprocated. Do you find merits in that statement, and do you echo it in any way?
Please, could you come again, please?
Okay, so I'm saying that one of the reasons, the main reasons that Governor Umahi has, given to us for his defection to the APC would be that he said, according to him, that in spite of the Southeast's constant support for the party, this has not been adequately reciprocated. Do you see any merits in that statement and in that reason for him defecting?
Quite a lot of merits. PDP was that is still unfair to Southeast. I can tell you this because if you look at the history of governance, right from 1960, pre-1960, 1960, 1963, 1979, 1999, you will see the predominance of Southeast in the party at the center. If I mention the NDP, the NCNC, and all of that, the MPN, the PDP, Southeast did dominate. Now, specifically mentioning this PDP of 1999 came, Southeast was very predominant, played a lot of roles, and did a lot of concessions. And from 1999 to today, PDP never did consider it very fair, equitable, to consider this part of Nigeria that is, so to speak, a minority tribe, but indeed it's not a minority tribe because even the population of Lagos, that is about the highest, you can see the population of Southeast there, that is the Igbos there. If you go to the north and part of the country, you see Igbos are everywhere. And so the truth is that it is very unfair that PDP refused. Up to now, see the kind of decisions they are having. No one knows where they are focusing in this presidential race, 2023. So I want to give authority, give credence to that assertion of my boss that PDP has been unfair. And I'm sure that the APC is doing a lot to really show PDP the way. By the zoning arrangement that the APC has done, by indications that we are seeing that South will produce the next president. For us, APC has come to show a difference. And the difference is actually very clear.
All right, Mr. Orji. Your governor was in Abuja yesterday, and he met with the national leader of the party, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is also aspiring and has indeed declared his intention to run for the position of the president, the same way that Governor Umahi has also declared. Do you have an idea of the real reason why your governor had to visit Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu? People are saying that it could be about the fact that he's desperate and he needs assistance, given what has happened with the court ruling that you now have a temporary respite from. Or could it be that there could be kind of an alliance between these two leading presidential hopefuls? So what precisely is happening? What alliance are you trying to forge with Asiwaju, or what assistance does your governor need from him?
Well, people are entitled to their conceptions and perceptions about issues. For me, it was a closed-door meeting. I don't know the details of the meeting, but I have to mention that our governor, who has declared to contest for president, has been consulting with leaders of the party and leaders of this country. And for me, his meeting with the leader of APC, our own Tinubu, is a sign that our governor is very nationalistic. Our governor is very untribalistic. Our governor believes that democracy is all about getting to engage the people. He believes in engagement processes, conversations that will bring about consensus. He believes that you can do it while you are in your house. So for me, it is one of those very needful outings which we applaud here in Ebonyi State. And people have come to see that in APC, whether you are contesting, you are having an opposing force, they need to go close. And the governor has demonstrated this. I'm not sure there is any presidential aspirant that has demonstrated this, going to reach out to another aspirant. For me, that has been the character, the kind of our governor. You know, when he was a deputy governor, he became the most humble deputy governor. He would always say, you need to stoop low to conquer. And that made him to be the most reliable governor that was cracking the hardest kernel of his boss at that time. And as a governor of PDP at that time, he was working with governors of APC, working with the president on the APC. And now that he's in APC, so he has got to do what he knows best. Let me tell you, people are entitled to rumors. But that man you have seen, that governor is a gifted man. He has the mental ability. I call him a man that has the 3 E's of leadership. He has exposure, he has education, he has experience. He knows how to go around things and get that done. And so we are really praying for their governor. We just want Nigerians to give our governor a chance. If he's given a chance, I can convert that our governor will make a great difference. Leaders of nations of the world will begin to come to say what is happening in Nigeria. If this can happen in Ebonyi, I assure you that that is going to be the new situation in 2023 if our governor becomes president. And we are not doing that by struggling or by fighting. We are not playing that. Others can go ahead to play that. But we are doing that by praying to God and talking to the collective sensibilities of Nigerian people. Come to Ebonyi and see what this man has done. The shortest ever transformational record in the whole world. I am not exaggerating. You need to come and make your own assessment and make your own decision. And so if this man is given to Nigeria, I can tell you that within the shortest record of time, world leaders will come, even advanced countries will come to say, what is happening in Nigeria? That is what we are assuring the people of Nigeria.
All right, Honorable Commissioner, I just want to, you've spoken in very colorful terms about Governor Umahi. Now, in terms of the aspiration for the highest seat of power in the country, let's talk about some of the legacies that he will be remembered for in his tenure as the governor of Ebonyi State. A lot of, you've highlighted quite a number of points and developmental work that he's done, but there's also been some sentiments and, some comments from many people to say that his priorities have also been misplaced in terms of some of the infrastructural projects that he has embarked on. Could we talk about that a little bit? And of course, we want to really focus on what his legacy will be.
Thank you very much. Let me combine the issues together, the criticism and what he has done. The governor has made Ebonyi State a global village. He used concrete road, concrete pavement of 8 inches to do virtually 99% of our road infrastructure, connecting the federal road, state road, and local road. So we have more than 2,000 number kilometer road the governor did with almost concrete pavement. And no any other government has done that. I think Dangote is doing that in Lagos. It has 50 years guarantee. Maybe that is a misplaced priority. But I know that governor did that because he wants to bring about investment, industrialization, agricultural development, solid mineral development that we have as comparative advantage. And when we have solid road, all of these things can come. Perhaps that is misplaced priority. The governor did what we call the microcosm of the macrocosm of the Dubai Mall. That is the mall that is the biggest in Africa. He conceptualized it when he went to Dubai and saw that he did come to replicate that in Ebonyi. And he's looking at engaging our exporters and importers. And through the facility of the international airport that we have, that is going to be one of the best in this region, in Nigeria, one of the 3 best in Nigeria, we can be sure that trade will be enhanced. People can travel to any part of the world, come back straight from any part of the world to Ebonyi without having to land in Lagos. And then their goods and services will be delivered in Ebonyi State. Perhaps that is misplaced priority. And I want to tell you that that shopping mall is having 5,000 number shops, engaging youth, women, entrepreneurs, and even companies. And they will in turn engage a create job, create work. Perhaps that is misplaced priority. We have an 80 metric ton capacity fertilizer blending plant that does the fertilizer need of South, South, Southeast. Perhaps that is misplaced priority. We have a 32 metric ton capacity rice milling plant that is the biggest in Africa that has come to really transform our rice system such that Ebonyi rice is the best in Nigeria, I tell you. And we have a parboiling plant that has 38 metric ton capacity per hour. Those in agriculture knows what I'm talking about is the biggest in Africa. Perhaps that is a misplaced priority. Now the governor has done a lot to raise our education. Today we have Ebonyi State that used to be educationally less privileged. Today we are one of the 10 best states because of the infrastructure the governor has really injected in education. What we call BESDA is also going on. That is out of school children program where we are targeting no less than 10,000 number out of school children. Is it empowerment program that we have done? I can tell you the governor is one of the best in the area of human development empowerment program.
All right, Honorable Commissioner, it sounds like you have a plethora of, you have a list there for us, which is very refreshing to hear. You really came prepared with your answers there. And I'm sure that Governor Umahi is very pleased to hear that you're highlighting this. But very quickly, we're going to take a very short break and we'll return and continue this conversation. We want to hear more. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the morning show here on the Rice News. And we're still on with Uchenna Orji, who is the Ebonyi State Commissioner for Information. So, Honorable Commissioner, thanks for staying with us. Can you hear me, please?
I can hear you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. I mean, I wanted to comment about, what you have reeled out, as a legacy of the governor. And of course, everybody knows, and I think that is worthy of appreciation that he has done very well. I just hope that some of the things that you have mentioned are not white elephant projects, especially the mini Dubai Mall that you mentioned. What will be the footfall in your state, and how many people are in Ebonyi? How many people will be going there so that this does not turn out to be a beautiful idea, but then in 3, 4, 5 years, nobody's coming. But that's not where I'm going. My question is about the politics of your party, the politics of the governor's party. The convention is slated for 26th of this month. But of course, there are dissenting views here and there. We do not even know precisely who the party chairman, caretaker party chairman is at this time. So my question to you, knowing the governor's mind, will be, where has he pitched his tent between the Governor Bello and the Meimala Buni faction? And does he have faith in the convention that is about to hold, hopefully, on the 26th of March, given his own interest and given the body language of Mr. President? So people are saying Is he actually with Mr. President as far as his preference is for the choice of the proposed party chair on the 26th of March? So tell us what you think that will pan out and which part Governor Umahi will belong. And if you have an idea, for example, given your closeness to the governor, of who those Yahoo governors that are said to be backing Governor Buni, if you have an idea of who they are, will you be kind to share that with us, please?
Yeah, I would have said that this question will wittingly or unwittingly escalate the situation if I answer it directly the way you want it. But let me say that our governor is a man who believes in establishment. As a party chairman, he worked closely with his boss, the governor. As a deputy governor, he was the best. He's a believer of establishment. As a governor, even when he was in opposition party, he believes in the president as the father and the leader of the nation. He never did hide that. And this situation is not going to be an exception. In APC, there is no issue, like somebody rightly mentioned earlier. There is no issue at all in politics, especially in electionary time. There is bound to be disagreement, opinions, varied opinion. But given that APC has leadership of the party, leadership of the nation, that is APC government, we have got no issue about that. At the right time, you see decisions that will make APC to be in a state of bliss. And our campaign processes we go. The selection process of the presidential candidate will be very similar. So will, of course, be very, very peaceful, I assure you. I believe in the capacities, in the moral capacities, mental capacities of the governors. Of course, there are no Yahoo governors at all because each state did elect their governor based on their convention. So people can say one or two things out of provocation. We call it vulgar abuse in law. So, but sometimes you go beyond all of these things to achieve results. Our governor is going to surrender to the decisions of the establishment. Our governor is a very loyal member of APC whose experience, whose capacity and track records are not in doubt. And he can also use it to bless the actions and wills of the party, that is APC. And so wherever you engage him to work, you can be sure that he will deliver. That man is a great asset. Sometimes I begin to say that Governor Umahi is like an institution. He is a leader that you can trust, that you never see somebody like him more than once in 100 years in a particular place. And so at any time a man like him comes out, just gets to exhaust his ability, exhaust his capacity. And I can assure you that he's a very loyal person. He's not pitching tent with anybody at all. But whatever establishment says is what he goes to work for. And God works for him, God speaks to him, and he listens to God. Here's David.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on the show and